and welcome back to a sunny day 14 in 100 days in modern Minecraft. We have started right under the rainbow, which should be a good omen for this episode. We are working on the base this episode, and I'm hoping to get it looking a little bit more presentable than it does at the moment, because at the moment it's a pretty shabby thing. I did spend one day on a live stream, which I then deleted because it was horrible, working on the roof the other day, so you can see that, which is why it has a little bit of building work which has gone on it, but nothing apart from that has changed since the last episode until this episode, where at the end of this episode it should be looking fantabulous. I'm going to start this episode with a short time lapse just of me finishing up the roof. It is a simple design with just some stairs, then a block or two, then some more stairs, and so it slowly gets smaller and it gives it kind of like a witch's hut vibe. It's a very cool roof which I've been using a lot lately because I've been playing around with World Edit and building castles, which if you have watched my Media SMP application then you will have seen that, and it looks really cool. Anyway, let's try and execute a water bucket clutch, is what I usually do to get down from here. And it's been going pretty well for me lately, so it should be... I placed that water. I can see it next to it. Why did I not land in it? Oh well, okay. Maybe that isn't the best method to be getting down with, but it's either that or I have to put a load of scaffolding everywhere. And considering that this mod has the gravestone in, it's pretty much just easier to jump down and die than it is to try and leave scaffolding everywhere. Might not be the best idea, but works well enough for me. Anyway, I'm going to go off to gather some resources. I found an avocado tree, and I also found out that there's a really helpful thing in this mod, which is if you mine the bottom block of a one block tree, the whole tree falls down without you having to mine every single block, which is really good to know and saves a lot of time and is so easy to get wood. Doesn't work on any 2 block or 4 block line sized trees, simply because I guess it's too much. There's no like single trigger point, but it is still really handy, especially since I've been getting a load of oak wood. It would be more annoying if I was trying to get some of this grey wood, because I'd have to mine down the whole tree. So yeah. Also, quick pre-warning. I fall off this tower a lot in this episode. This is a voiceover, and it's... The good thing is the red beams, if it is within a certain block radius, will only show up once for multiple deaths, which is good because it means that it's not littered with one beam. With more than one beam, you just gotta make do with one beam, which is fine by me, so long as it doesn't like make more. Anyway, after yet another death and the beam moving again, we have finished the roof and I have integrated it into the rest of the build, because otherwise it didn't really look right. It just kind of looked like it was a hat sat on top of it, so it kind of matches that little blue strip below, which I don't think looks too bad anymore. And especially by the end of this video, I absolutely love this base, and I cannot wait to continue on it, and do interior and do some more texturing, and I think this base is going to look really cool. At the minute, I am just putting down some of those stacks of leaves which are in my inventory just to give it some colour. I also really like how they're like, it's a blue leaf, but every now and then it will go gold, which looks really cool. I'm also in a second going to put down some of the purple ones, but of course first I have got to die again. I don't want to count how many times I die in this video, because the number will be overwhelming and it is quite embarrassing. Anyway, welcome to yet another day of 100 days in modern Minecraft, where I get to dance with a skeleton because I cannot hit it for the life of me. But it's fine, he'll die on his own, I'm sure, because he is on fire after all. There we go. And it also gave me some bones, which I might be able to turn into bone meal and then grow some of the little saplings that I've planted around. Although I'm not sure if that will work, considering that they're not in the best place. Anyway, we're just going to integrate some purple leaves into it because I think it looks really cool. I don't have many of these leaves, so I'm just putting them at the front where they can be seen to make it look a bit better. They're not going to wrap all the way around the back because I simply do not have enough. But I think they will still look really cool. Okay, let's back up and see what we have created. I think it's looking really good. I love how it wraps around the roof as well. I do wish there were a few more leaves in the centre of it, but I don't have enough, and B, I don't think it would really work because it would be like, where do they come from? They don't wrap round properly. But I think that once all of the windows are in there and there's some texturing on it, it's going to look really cool. Point, I'm going to start putting some windows in the side of the castle, and I was a bit worried because I was hearing a lot of zombie noises, and for some reason my game sounds weren't recording, but I found the source, and the last thing I wanted really was a creeper blowing up the base, but they look a bit different. I actually haven't seen a creeper in this mod pack yet. So it was quite interesting to see. I'm not sure, maybe it was just a type of creeper. I wasn't going to stick around and find out. But I realised that I should probably start lighting up the interior of this castle to try and avoid the risk of mob spawning, since it is very dark in there and I just hadn't realised that mobs could spawn. But of course I've put a roof on it now, and it's a bit dangerous in there, to say the least. So I ventured into the depths of my creation and I found a creeper which dropped on me, which exploded a hole. Lovely. I don't know where they're spawning, they're just spawning on little shelves. And then I found another one which exploded it again. They don't do much damage, and they also leave these like lingering potion effects. So I don't think they are normal creepers, but I haven't been able to stay near one for long enough to find out. And then I realised that I had so little health that I just fell off it and died. Anyway, I felt like I should probably start patching this up, and I realised that the creeper had managed to destroy the majority of the blue blocks, and I had no more, and so I was going to have to make do with what I had, which was basically nothing, and so I decided, why don't I turn this into a doorway for my castle? After all, I haven't made a proper doorway to the base yet. And so with that I started putting in some oak to try and make it look a little bit more contrasting, and it actually matches the roof now. This is going to be quite a mismatch of different wood types, since it's oak at the bottom, then it's the blue wood, then it's this weird grey purple one, and then the windows are going to be spruce, but I think it will still look quite nice once it all comes together. It will be kind of rustic. As you can see, I was just putting in some of the windows. They are not uniform in any way. There's no equal distancing between them. They're not in the same column or anything like that. I'm just putting them in wherever there's space, wherever I think they'll look good, and I think that should work quite well. That's about half of them, and I'm just going to stick with you whilst I take the rest out. For the moment they are just going to be holes in the wall, since I will focus on filling them in and texturing them as I do the interior and work my way up the tower, since I think that will work the best. Anyway, a new morning is about to dawn, and it is a zombie apocalypse, which I did not see when I slept last night, and I might just run away from until they all burn. That might be a good idea. And then I spotted 2 skeletons which had made refuge in the river, but I decided not to show you that clip because it didn't go particularly well. Anyway, here it is looking so far. I think it's looking really cool. I really like it. And so this is the design that I was thinking for the windows. I'm only doing it on one for the moment. But basically they're just going to be fences. There's not going to be any glass, and then I'm going to put some spruce stairs underneath as like a little windowsill. I could put like plant pots on there, put the new plants from this mod pack which look really cool in them, just to bring it some colour. Anyway, I'm going to slightly end this episode by mining out the interior, since when the creepers blew up the wall and I put in the door, it was actually further down than I thought, and I had to extend the tower into the ground a bit, which meant that I had to mine out the interior so that it wouldn't be a big bank in the middle of the house. But I think it's looking a lot bigger now it's cleared out, and I'm beginning to see that I could actually do some stuff with this base. So let's just back up and get a far back view of what our creation looks like, and I absolutely love it. I can't wait to work on it next episode, but for this episode, this is where I'm going to wrap it up. If you liked it, then let me know, and I hope that you watched the last episodes, but that is good from me. Goodbye!